What's up, guys? It's Rell with Blerd. We were able to beat out the bots on Target.com and we scored this new Xbox Series X. If you didn't get a chance to get one yourself, we're going to do this unboxing and show you what's inside. So let's get into the specs a little bit. This is going to be the most powerful Xbox ever and the most powerful console on the market today. You're getting a 3.8 gigahertz AMD CPU, a 12 terawatt AMD GPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. We'll talk a little bit more about the storage in a little bit because I know some people are up in arms about that one. So what do you need all of that power for? This is the most powerful Xbox ever, and with that, you're gonna be able to game in 4K up to 120 FPS or frames per second. You're getting that 8K HDR, so you're gonna get a really beautiful picture with the new Xbox. Asterisk, if you got a newer TV there, you're gonna get a 1 terabyte SSD. So if you're going mostly digital with your gaming, you got a little bit of storage there. Not a ton, but there is an expansion slot on the back if you want to upgrade that. And then, if you like to watch your Blu-rays, you got a 4K Blu-ray player there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pop it open. Make sure not to break anything. Get these tabs on the bottom. And stick those there. And boom. That's a nice padding there. It says power your dreams. Very nice, nice little touch. First thing I noticed, this is a very, very heavy system, especially compared to the last generation. So we're gonna pull this tab off and pull the tape off. Got it upside down. We're gonna slide it out and boom, new Xbox Series X. So you get a little instruction card in the box. We don't need that. Open this up. We got the power cables, the power cable and HDMI cable, excuse me, noticeably smaller than the first iteration of the last generation of Xbox. So very nice there, save a little bit of space. Then you got the controller. Controller, pretty similar to the last generation. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It does have a couple nice little extra features, but we'll get into that in a second. Then more instructions that we don't need, some warranty in case this thing overheats, and that is what's in the box. So we look at the system itself. You got your Xbox power button there, pretty similar to the last generation. Got your eject button and your optical drive here. You got a USB port, as well as your button to connect your controller. If you look to this side, you got your rubberized feet, so that if you want to sit this horizontally, you can as well. Turn that back up. Turn it the other way. You got pretty clean system here other than the Xbox logo. If you look on the top, you can see the vents. Something interesting here is that those green sections you're seeing are actually paint. That's not LEDs or anything like that. So we take a look at the back, pretty clean up top, but down here you got the HDMI out port, you got your power port, Ethernet, 2 USB ports there, and then you got a slot for storage expansion. If you're going digital like me and downloading your games, this is pretty important. You've only got a 1 terabyte SSD on the system, and with games coming in over a gig nowadays, you're gonna fill up that hard drive pretty quick. These storage expansion cards are over $200 right now, so pretty pricey for some extra storage. A little bit of a knock to the system, but not too bad. One thing that I haven't seen any other reviewers talk about is this little notch you see right here. That's actually a notch for a Kensington lock. If you live in the hood or anything like that, worried about somebody jacking your system, you can use a Kensington lock and lock your system down so nobody runs away with it. So here in the back, we got last generation's Xbox controller. I have pretty big hands, so I've always had a slight preference to Xbox controllers over PlayStation, but that preference is very, very slight. Here in the front, we got the new controller. As you can see, there's the new share button there. And they actually made the directional pad a little bit nicer. So if you're in the fighter, so it's gonna be a nice addition to you. Here in the back, we actually got a little bit of a tactile feel to the triggers now, which is a nice addition as well. And then, the standard RB and LB buttons feel pretty similar to what they did in the past, but they did put a little bit of that tactile feel in the very back there as well. Now, over on this side, I got the Xbox Elite controller. Probably my favorite controller of all time. It's just heavy, feels good. You got the triggers in the back. Just is a great design. Up front, we got the new PS5 controller. And I actually think that the new PS5 controller beats out the new Xbox Series X controller. Just feels a little bit better in my hand. The triggers feel a little bit nicer with the placement, and then the joysticks feel a little bit better as well. But again, it's a very slight preference. So I got the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, and then the Xbox Series X. Oh, it's a tongue twister. But I wanted you to be able to see that height-wise, they're about the same. I'm gonna turn these horizontally. And then the first thing I noticed, even picking this up again, is how much heavier the new Xbox Series X is. I'm sure that with the second and third generation, they'll get the weight of that down a little bit. But yeah, that's what I have for you today for the unboxing. Make sure to check us out on blerd.com and Blerd Official on our IG. I'm sure that we'll do some game reviews of the new Xbox Series X coming up soon. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and let us know what you think.